Hello, everybody. This is Big Al. Checking on my Al pals, seeing how many are here. Uh, I'm Big Al, of course, and joining me today for our matinee rewatch. Uh, uh, Sorry, I forgot to mute myself. Joining me today is Troy Pacelli, the Klingon cleric.
Hello.
Sadly, Mara Jade had a work issue pop up even after she told me she was free, but that's okay. Oh, look, a bus. Oh, Mara, boom! Throwing her under the bus. That's for her because she said I keep throwing her under the bus. I mean, work is a lot more important. Yeah. Like to welcome, who do I got here? We got Melissa Harris, Daniel Herron. Well, Troy, of course, is not only here, but he is here.
Yep.
Well, not here, but online.
Here in the green room.
Net is here. Yay. Mohammed, Dark Stranger. Hello. How you doing? Thought for a minute you thought we were going to watch the Japanese film House or Houseu or however they pronounce it. I don't know. That might be worth it one day. I've really got to watch that whole thing. That is a bizarre film.
I only found out about it today, and I saw one scene, and I was like,
I'm
not sure if I would really, really like this or really, really not.
I saw it late night on TV one night, and I just woke up, and because I used to wake up like really early because when I worked at school, like even earlier than I needed to, and it just was on. I saw like the last half of it, and it is an LSD dream. It's just all over the place. Casey Scott, Owen Lister, welcome. Yes, the house we are watching is on Amazon Prime, free on Amazon Prime streaming. It stars William Catt, the greatest American hero.
Oh, not Hugh Laurie, huh?
No, it's not Hugh Laurie. This is not a horror film starring Hugh Laurie as a crippled doctor in a house.
That could make a good horror film.
Oh, it would. It would definitely make a good horror film. But no, this is not anything to do with Doctor House. It's got William Catt. It also has George Wendt from Cheers. It also has Richard Mall, who was Bull from Night Court.
Yep.
So in the mid '80s, what these guys were, I mean, that's what they were. It's considered a comedy horror, but it has its, it's a really cool film. I think an underappreciated film, and
Agreed.
And it was a film that was available on Amazon, so that's why I picked it. I had a lot of other films I was thinking about doing, but and Mara left it to me to pick one, so I picked this, and then she's like, "Oh, the trailer doesn't look good," but honestly, the trailer is terrible. It doesn't really give you the good feeling of the film. But I chose this one, but then she backed out, and thankfully, the honorable Klingons, who are always ready for a fight, jumping into the fight, helping me out today. Thank you, Troy. I really appreciate it. I did not know Mark couldn't do it until after the Fan Man stream last night. So I kind of was like, okay, should I reschedule? I was like, it's just the best time for it.
And while you were messaging us to ask if we could help you out, I got an IM from Mara on Twitter, and or direct message or whatever you call it on Twitter, and she was like, "Can you please? I feel so bad." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." Nanette already volunteered me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people like Mara and I's energy, and I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been wanting to ever since the school year began, because most of you know she's a teacher. She's been very busy because she's also coaching, and she is got several teachers under her who she's helping with, and and also I'm sure she has her own life. She is 3,000 miles away. It's not like I'm can say anything, but we were trying to link up just because we're really close, and I like interacting with her, and just hadn't for a while. I was kind of hoping to, but we'll have our day eventually with some other film that I am so willing to watch anything she wants to watch, just to spend a little time with her. But yeah, today we're doing House, and a little horror in the holiday spirit. Later on, I'm going to have a video out, hopefully by the end of the night. Some underrated horror gems that I like. It's about 7 or 8 films that you might not have heard of, or if you have, you might not have seen. But that's for later. For those of you who are watching House with us, as a starting point, now I have an MP4 copy, which means I don't have all the Universal logo and stuff like that. I've got mine set to just as you hear the theme, the bass start, and the red background of like a house, top of a house, fades in. So is that a good enough spot for you guys? Everybody, just checking. Is it
so
good?
In your copy, is that the 5-second mark?
Mine is. I'm at the 6-second mark actually.
Okay.
Is that what you got too?
I probably have the exact same file.
Oh, hey, I love Putlocker, man. I have, I know I'm probably wrecking my computer, but I'm going to get to a point where I just start downloading it all into a thing. But so far, it's, knock wood. I got some good stuff, and I keep thinking of like weird old movies that I want to find. And I go on there, and sometimes I can't find Boggy Creek, which is killing me, and I can't find Bubba Hotep, which I really want to watch one day. I know some people want to watch.
Nanette is very resistant to that movie for some reason.
Oh, Bubba Hotep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. It's
Let's
Bruce
face it,
Campbell.
though. It's the kind of movie where you're either going to really, really love it or really, really hate it.
Yeah, exactly. You either get it or you don't. I mean, if you can accept that Bruce Campbell is playing an Elvis who survived and is now in a nursing home,
maybe
that
it's kind of not clear if that's true or not.
And that was it Ozzie Davis?
I think so.
Yeah. Ozzie Davis is a black man who is actually JFK, who was sequestered away after the assassination attempt.
Again, maybe.
Yeah, it's a high get, set your BS level aside and just enjoy a pimped out mummy trying to kill people. Yep. And Bruce Campbell trying to stop him. So I mean, that's the movie. That's all you needed for the movie, really.
And Mohammed wants to is asking for a wrench. He's got something he wants to share with you.
Okay, Mohammed wants a wrench. How do I give Mohammed a wrench here?
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to do that.
I do, and Mohammed, you should have a wrench.
Agent Boomer can't stay for the whole movie. That stinks. But I'm glad you made it at all.
Yeah, I'm doing these different timings just to kind of see how they go. And I know it's going to be, I know I'm not going to get like 25, 30 people.
No.
But if we can get like 5 to 10 people in here just having a good time, watching a fun movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's worth it to me.
Do you realize what Mohammed just shared? He's sharing a link to the movie for those of you that don't have it.
Oh, yeah, well, that's fine. I kept seeing the little...
That's pretty awesome, Mohammed. Thanks.
Yeah, I kept seeing the little pay thing. So, but anyway, yeah, I've got... if you got the MP4 file, which is probably what that is, I'm at the 6-second mark.
Yep.
It is just... the house has just come into view. It's a red background, a second or two after this heavy bass string. So yes, although it says 1985, it was actually released in 1986. So that gets confusing even in that, I was finding. Let's watch House. Let me count down to 1, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
All right.
Sean Cunningham, Friday the 13th fame, folks.
Absolutely.
I mean, the film.
Steve
This film
Miner
has.
too.
Yep. The film has a good pedigree, and that's a great looking house too,
isn't it? It's got that very, very gothic bell tower look on it.
Yeah.
Our greatest American hero.
I could never live in a house like that now, sadly, because the doors would probably be like 20 inches wide. I need a 36-inch clearance at least. Richard Ball.
So,
God, I miss.
So we have a lot of Friday the 13th connections here. We got the director Steve Miner, who did Friday the 13th 2 and 3. Music by Harry Manfredini, right?
Yep. Like I said, I mean, the film's got it also looks like a very Dark Side-esque feel to it. The introduction, I kind of like that. With that like odd coloring.
Now, screenplay by Fred Decker, who did Monster Squad, which we just watched recently, and Star Trek Enterprise.
Yep.
He originally wrote it to be. He was inspired by the movie Twilight Zone, that Steven Spielberg film that came out a few years before this. He and some other writers, they wanted to do their own kind of anthology. And it just kind of fell through. And he said, the heck with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and take my story and make a full screenplay out of it.
Yeah. It's, like their story by Fred Decker.
Yep.
I always liked it. What was it? Shane Black and Fred Decker worked together. It was always Black and Decker. I just thought that was so wonderful. I always wanted a Vespa. Or a little scooter.
Oh, those little hellions, they can be fun.
Yeah. I never had one. The closest I ever got was riding a friend's mini bike and lost control. Lost control and went into a cornfield.
I was the corn.
I was a kid.
So another Friday the 13th connection is one of the stunt coordinators on this. What was his name?
Kane Hodder,
right? Exactly. Who played Jason in many of the later films, 7, 8, 9, 10, and The Game.
Yeah, a lot of people forget Kane Hodder was like a stunt guy.
Yep,
and he's done a lot of stuff out there.
Yep. So there's a lot of connections to Friday the 13th and horror films of that era.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, beautiful house. I just love that look. Have you seen the house on the Haunting of Hill House on Netflix?
I have not seen the Netflix series. No, I haven't.
Gotta totally recommend that. If people have not seen it, it is perfect for this time of year. It's 10 episodes, but it takes you on a really cool journey.
Yeah, I am going to have to check that out. I've heard a lot about it. You've recommended, but others have too.
Yeah, they're about to release another one, which is The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Interesting.
I think it's Turning of the Screw, I think it's going to be based on.
Computer Robots, the only reason that that's not in the stream is because I haven't figured out how to get the sound set up so that we can both be on, but that's a plan for the future, for definitely sure.
You needed to get a microphone and headset built for two.
Agent Boomer, the reason that there's always celery sticks sticking out of the tops of grocery bags in movies is because celery doesn't last very long, so you always have to buy celery.
Yeah.
And she suddenly just starts swinging for no apparent reason.
Yeah. She's like all blue, but she's still swinging.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, old chicks swing.
Oh gosh.
Gotta get used to it. Gotta get used to
it. Really? You had to go there that early, huh?
Well, that's what I do. I mean, you're talking about groceries. You also get the obligatory baguette.
Well,
that sticks out a lot of grocery bags.
Because let's face it, in reality, if you have those kinds of grocery bags, you usually don't have anything sticking out. You know?
Yeah.
And the reason you can tell this takes place after The Greatest American Hero is because his fro isn't so big.
Yeah. Yeah, I think William Cat was probably only limited because of his head.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's.
Now, anyone who's ever been to conventions knows this is not too far off.
No, it's not. And I hate the guy who is behind you who talks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know,
you're
my time.
Wait until you get there, you know?
I remember when I met Andrew Robinson from Deep Space Nine, I had the guy behind me just was even like two people in front of me were still trying to get to him and just started like just talking to him.
Recognize her? The one who's going on about his ex-wife?
Oh no, I'm
Mindy Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's from Austin Powers fame.
Yeah, Frau whatever face.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Evil's mother.
Yep.
You know, those would be fun films to do rewatches of too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Austin Powers. We need another Austin Powers movie. Love the mid-'80s. This was my time. This is when I was young and carefree.
Same here.
This came out, I was 20, 21 years old, enjoying life in college.
Okay, so he's trying to talk him out of doing a Vietnam book, but for crying out loud, in the 80s, horror films and Vietnam pieces both sold. So yeah. I don't really see the problem.
And if you combine the two, even better.
Right, which I guess is basically what this is.
Unless you're Vic Morrow, then it really could go terribly wrong. If anybody knows that story from the Tales from Dark, no, Twilight Zone movie.
Oh, God, computer.
Oh man, those were the old days when a computer was basically a typewriter with a television.
Yep.
It had very, very, very basic stuff. I didn't really get into computers until the internet was a thing or a bigger thing.
Yeah, I used to program in BASIC, and I was very frustrated with the fact that I couldn't do the crazy kind of stuff that they made up in the movies.
Mm-hmm. To quote Austin Powers, Melissa says, "Yeah, baby, let's shag."
Owen Lister, you weren't even born in the mid-'80s. You're younger than I thought you were.
Wow. Yeah, William Cat looks like an author from the 80s.
Yeah,
especially with the hair.
That tie helps too.
Yeah. Of course, they got Kate Lenz, I think, plays his.
Wow, that's kind of sad. Okay, Muhammad. Yeah, you are very young. You. Wow. You're
Mrs. David Cassidy. At the time,
really?
I think she was married to David Cassidy for a while.
Lucky David.
Yes. Well, David was lucky anyway. I mean, if you were David Cassidy when he was at his height,
I suppose so. You're right.
I'd be taking advantage of it all the time.
And your on-screen sister.
Yeah. Muhammad just turned 19.
Right?
Anybody younger than that in here?
If you are, why are you here? You shouldn't be. This is not a crowd you should be associated with.
My stream is PG-13.
Yes,
which is a lot. That's a lot of leeway nowadays.
that's true.
PG-13.
That is very, very true.
Who wants holographic computers? I'm sure they're coming.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think we're just on the cusp of it. Now, this is either Vietnam or his backyard.
Yeah, I think it's a son who's disappeared mysteriously.
A call back to Carrie, which was another film he was in.
Oh, he wasn't Carrie. Oh,
yes, he was. He was the one who took her to the prom.
I've got to watch that again. Yeah. I have not seen that literally in God, since I was that age.
Yep. And here we have Michael Ensign as the real estate agent. He was the hotel manager in Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm. Great character actor.
Yep.
Always played the guy like a little snooty.
Mm-hmm.
Always. He's also done some Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Star Trek was great on pulling people in as all those character actors.
Yeah, just put something on their nose and forehead, and you got yourself an alien.
Pretty much it. You're right.
He was in the episode where Riker was stranded on the planet, and everybody freaked out because he was an alien.
Oh, right.
And he shot himself, so the guy wouldn't have relations with the Federation,
right?
Because they weren't ready yet. Wow, that was a memory trigger.
Was that also the one with BB Newirth in it too?
Yes, it was.
As the alien groupie.
Yep. BB Newirth. Oh, what a cute girl she was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you always know him by his little mustache. He always has that little mustache.
Yeah. Let's face it, that is a nice house.
I know. It'd be a beautiful place to have.
Great they used to joke about these movies, as soon as the supernatural stuff happens, why don't you just get out immediately? And I'm going, where am I going to go? I'm kind of financially stuck here.
It's a big investment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Amityville Horror,
Yeah, exactly.
They had all their money sunk into it.
In fact, that's probably watching it as an adult. It's funny because I was showing it to Nanette and she's like, have we gotten to the scary part yet? Because it's not as scary as it was when I was younger. But what's really scary about it is seeing it as an adult and realizing these are some people that are in over their heads on this house.
Yeah.
It's got a sewage problem. Stuff's leaking out of the walls. It's attracting flies. They got problems in the basement. That's what's really scary.
Yeah. They got a daughter who is seeing something named Jody.
Now here's another parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Can't find the kid. Oh my God, the kid's in the pool. Now I can't find him. And he's missing.
Have you been watching that show Evil?
I have not. Is that the one with Luke Cage?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Last week, not this past week, but like a week and a half ago there was an episode of this like young boy who hated his kid's sister, and at the very end you see the kid's like, oh, I've been able to deal with my problem, thanks to some advice, and he threw the baby into the pool.
Oh God.
And Luke Cage had to dive in and get him.
Wow. Yeah, there's a little foreshadowing. Oh, look at all these bladed tools.
Yep.
These are gonna be doing some stuff later. Oh God. Oh God, no. No, no, no.
Yeah, nothing like it's not something you see in everybody's garage is a spear gun.
And you usually don't point them at people. Oops, sorry about that.
Like I just like wave that off.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I would be like, get your ass out of here.
Right? Yeah, let's just throw this rag over the most important part of the picture so we don't see it till later in the movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah.
I love the old lady look with the little cameo around the neck.
Right. A little bit anachronistic, but it
Mhm.
is a cool look. And yeah, maybe that was a little bit harsh, but it's pretty much true. What if that's even true? How does that help us get our son
Yeah,
back?
it's the house.
Yeah. And so how does that help us? How do I get my son back?
One man story, a personal account of the Vietnam War. Not exactly a catchy title.
No, it's not. But I mean, what was he supposed to call it? Hamburger Helper Hill?
Hamburger Helper Hell. Well, you got hamburgers, pork chop,
Right.
tuna hill. There you go. Another meat.
Take me to the river.
Oh, that would be so awesome to big bass to
Right.
fly one of those.
Right.
Big Billy Bass. What was it? Big Billy Bass? Yeah.
Duh, what did you expect to happen? It's not going to be sharp because it's dead?
And all these old houses have horrific wallpaper.
Yeah. Fashion changes, I suppose.
Love the floor though. Look at that floor though. That's awesome.
RK.
Could play chess on that floor.
Or you could use Ertel models of starships and do combat simulator.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I've done that at conventions.
And the haunting begins.
Agent Boomer, I agree with you. I actually would go so far as to say that when you introduce horror into comedy, it can, or excuse me, comedy into horror. I think sometimes it can make it even scarier because you can really play with people's emotions that way. I found Freddy to be very creepy just because of the creepy one-liners. I'm like, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah,
I'm
was
laughing. See,
yeah, he was a comedian. We need another good Freddy movie.
I like the fact that you said a good Freddy movie because not all of
Yeah,
them have been good.
exactly.
That's some sloppy knot work.
Well, as long as it doesn't make her fall on the floor. Woo!
It's like she just jumped through the floor. It makes me wonder what she had actually secured the rope to, because if she had tied it to that lamp for real, that lamp was coming
Yeah.
right out of the ceiling, and I didn't see exposed
Well,
rafters.
like I said, it depends on how that thing was attached. If they hooked it to a rafter, then it might have held. She was a spindly old thing after all.
Agent Boomer, it's been so long since I've seen the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I don't even remember.
Yeah, unless we're talking about Freddy and Jason.
Oh, there was
I remember
so
Freddy and
much,
Jason.
so much that could have come out of that Freddy versus Jason. There was
Yeah.
plans for it to be connected to Hellraiser.
Oh yeah.
And here we got Mary Staven, previously from Octopussy and View to a Kill.
She was a Miss World or something. Miss Universe, something.
I got to be honest with you. I only know her from Twin Peaks. She played head of the athletic businesswoman.
Norm. I always liked George Wendt.
I saw him live at a performance here in Chicago.
Oh, cool.
It was a play called Stealing Home.
Oh, nice.
This is awkward. But
Heart
she
of
was a
gold.
bitch. She was my aunt. But a heart of gold. Yes, sort of. In other words, leave me the hell alone.
Leave me alone.
Uh-oh.
Oh, for God's sake.
What's funny about that, though, I mean, there is a certain bit of compliment to that. It's sort of falling apart. Obviously, it's been well read, well loved, and you know. A lot of locks on that door. Man, that's a nice house. I think I'm going to say it every single time they show it.
Well, I love the shelves of books too. Old books, just that would be like a dream setup for me to have all these books on the walls.
Well, what's ironic is I recognize at least two of those books, and they wouldn't be a lot of fun. They were Westlaw books. They're clearly just books to fill up space.
Yeah, but still, if I put my books in there.
Right, exactly.
Like I said, a lot of people know Richard Mall for being the funny, kind-hearted bull on Night Court.
Yep.
But he was good at playing villains.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anybody, I mean, if you remember the first episode of the Highlander series, he was the bad guy in that. Which listeners, here's a question: which horror movie director would have made an exciting action movie? I think a lot of them would have.
I would actually have to look. I'll bet that several actually did.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably am not even realizing it.
HBO says Wes Craven could have done it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of the directors, yeah, although they have their style, they they could morph their vision.
During that shooting scene, I thought one of his friends was one of his comrades. It looked just like Mario Van Peebles. I thought, oh, is that Stitch Jones, the Ayatollah of rock and roll?
I like how he clicks his son off.
Yeah.
And he disappears with the little static. And I do wonder. Remember when he cut himself on the jaws of that little shark? Wonder if there's a little ghost of a shark somewhere going, "Hey, still deadly after all this time being
right." Dead.
Yeah, Dark Stranger Night Court was awesome, especially when you had Brent Spiner as Wheeler. That was hilarious. Oh, I loved it when Brent Spiner was on Night Court.
Oh, he was funny.
God, they were funny. That shit. I really think that, like, a lot of people remember, like, uh, will remember it, but it doesn't seem to get the cred that it deserves. Because Cheers, everyone still rewatches. Taxi still pops on. Night Court, you don't really see on any kind of repeat rotation. I'd love to watch some repeats of Night Court. They had some funny episodes. I remember had Ellen Foley on there for the first season, the one who sang with Meatloaf, "Paradise by the Dashboard Light."
Oh yeah,
yeah. She played the first attorney on there before Marky Post got in.
He's kind of got David Hasselhoff's hair.
That's true. He's got some off hair there.
Oh my God, hangers!
No wire hangers ever.
Those things are dangerous. You saw what they did to Michael Myers.
That's true. Yeah. I am much more of a plastic hanger man.
No, I like the big solid wooden ones. I kind of need them for our costumes. Nothing else.
Oh well. Ah!
It's the engineer from Hellraiser. No. So here's a fun little fact for you. So they filmed this movie in just under 8 weeks, but it took them about 3 months to make the creatures. So it actually took longer to build those puppets than it was to film live action sequences.
That stuff. I mean, there was a show on
Betamax.
There was a show on I think it was Sci-Fi. The Monster Maker. It was about Cleve. Oh, can't remember his last name. But it was, they did the practical effects and things like that, and it took a lot of work to get some of that stuff done. And I just.
Okay, but you've got to admit that actually makes a lot of sense. This is actually somebody who's dealing with this weird problem and thinking
Mhm.
it through and practicing, how he's going to deal with it.
Yep.
That's what we all watch these movies and go, why doesn't anyone do this? Why don't they think through
And
what they're going through?
and he's a soldier. Look, he's got his
Yep.
chest armor on, he's got his helmet, he's got his goggles on, he's ready for action.
It's not just assuming I can do this, that, and the other. It's, can I still do this? How quickly can I get out of the house and to safety? That's brilliant. Plus, this apparently is the prequel to Paranormal Activity.
Tell Al to check his email. Send him something I think he'll really like, something having to do with Elvis. Well, I'll check it after the movie, but kind of in the middle of the movie right now. You don't see reruns of News Radio or Spin City or Night Court. You're right, Melissa. Although I wasn't so much a Spin City guy, but I do remember News Radio. That was a good one.
Speaking of Elvis, I think maybe in January I should do a rewatch of some Elvis film for his birthday, for our birthday, I should say.
Oh, you share the birthday with Elvis?
Yep.
Sweet. I should do one next May, in celebration of John Wayne.
There you go.
Because I share John Wayne. They do The Quiet Man. Love The Quiet Man. Oh, what a beautiful film. When listeners asking, can Elvis act?
Oh yeah, actually, he was pretty good. He just didn't get very good. Didn't get very good roles.
Yeah, once they started cranking him out, he basically just was. He hated doing them. I felt bad for him. Well, you feel bad after
he wanted to get into a more dramatic films, and never quite happened for him.
Well, like you look at Love Me Tender, and I mean, he did some good stuff in that.
Yeah, he did.
But all those beach movies and race car movies that followed, kind of, it sucks your soul out a little bit when you're like doing films you hate.
You even see some elements in Jailhouse Rock. That had a great deal of potential there as the movie was starting up.
His early films, you really had him trying, and then after a while, he was playing the same character.
Yeah.
After a while, and
Solitude's always better with someone else around.
I would love to have a guy like him as a neighbor. He just wants to be a friend,
Al, I think you would be that neighbor.
I'd be that neighbor. Oh yeah, maybe. But I would want one too.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mutual. I'd want me and on one side and went on the other.
Actually, the neighbor you want is the blonde.
And Betty White across the street. I'm just kidding.
No offense, but your aunt was Looney Tunes. You're not crazy, but you have PTSD and you lost your son and you're divorced. But no, you're not crazy.
I like that. Bet you got a few marbles running around. Age of Boomer wants that Chinese food. Yeah, I would too. I love Chinese food. God, I wish we had more restaurants around here deliver rather than pizza. Not that I mind pizza at all, but
Well, actually, that's probably the most rational part. I mean, if you think you're crazy, try to get a picture of it so
Yep.
that either you prove you're crazy or you prove you're not crazy.
The old rotary.
Right.
A man's shirt and sock feet. I always like that look on a woman.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, just
especially when it happens to be my shirt.
There you go.
Seriously, what has she been in before? Because she looks so darn familiar.
Kaylin, she was in let me go to the wiki. Because she's been in a few things. But she never hit huge level of stuff, but American Graffiti. Prisoners of the Lost Universe. Oh my God, I love that.
Prisoners of the
Death
Lost
Wish
Universe.
4.
That sounds so familiar. 1983. I know I've seen
But
that.
she would do like episodic television, like Magnum, Fall Guy, Murder She Wrote, MacGyver, Hunter. I mean,
yeah.
she
That's
was all
probably what I've seen her in a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Lois and Clark. She did an episode of Lois and Clark. She was the voice on The Tick, the original Strip to Kill. Yeah, Prisoner of the Lost Universe. Is this the movie I'm thinking of? Yes, it is. Richard Hatch. Richard Hatch, Kay Lenz, and John
Saxon. Yes. Yeah.
God. Always.
There's another great character actor.
Yeah.
And that guy really does look like Mario Van Peebles. I'm telling you.
Got like a little crossbones on his head. Yep. I like that. Little crossbones with the drawn skull above it. Things to do with chicken leftovers. Age Boomer talking about Big Trouble in Little China. Definitely one that's got to have a rewatch for. Still with me, Troy?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to figure out where I've seen Kay Lenz before, and I just can't figure it out.
Like I said, she's just been in all kinds of stuff,
and that's got to be it. I mean, you see her, as a one shot in a TV show, and you see it in so many TV shows that you just get used to seeing her. Kind of like John Saxon, if you think about it.
Yeah, I remember John Saxon was in
$6
a
Million
Gene,
Dollar Man. He was he was Maskatron.
yeah, he was also in a Gene Roddenberry made for TV movie that was actually the inspiration for Andromeda.
Okay.
But it was
Okay.
a different, but it was a different, but it was, it was like a guy goes to sleep for hundreds of years, wakes up later. Had Marianne Hartley in it, I think. But he's so much better as a villain, I think.
He was also didn't he also play a villain in Buck Rogers?
I think
If not,
I
it
think
was
so.
something like it, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a few that popped in on Buck Rogers. Jack Palance.
Yeah, Jack Palance, that's right.
Whoop.
Aged Boomer, I was probably talking over it, but yep, that probably was the line. That would be a good line. Huh?
Dark Strangers asking about Galaxy of Terror, the giant worm or maggot scene. Yep, I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing that.
I'm looking at that green wallpaper and saying, has anyone checked it for arsenic?
Is that where they got green from?
That's what they used to use in the Victorian era for that kind of green flocking.
Take me to the river.
Right? Right? Here's the even bigger irony. Those kinds of mounted fish aren't even carcasses of the fish. They're complete replicas. So it was never alive to begin with.
See, this is where you take the spear gun to shoot the fish.
Yeah, but he's got to recharge it now because I fired it. Yeah, you kind of can't go wrong with a shotgun, though.
Well, you can, but
well, okay.
If you load it wrong.
Yep, I believe in gun control. That means shooting exactly where you aim.
Uh-oh.
Let me ask you a question. Wow.
Such a simple, practical effect, too.
Yep.
Little wire.
Well, they just focused on those two shells that went under the table. So,
gee, I wonder if we're going to be revisiting those shells in the future.
Yeah. Chekhov's gun becomes Chekhov's shotgun shells. He's in pain.
He just wanted to be back in the water. That is disconcerting. That eyeball floating around.
Let me take a couple more Valium.
Like they say, we got a war to lose. Yeah. Let's go on. Have you seen Running Man? I'm not talking about Running Man. It's a good Artie film.
Again?
They're back.
Yeah.
A beautiful window.
Let me
Just get that strong jawline.
Yeah, she looks like a John Byrne drawing.
Fishing.
Yeah, kind of. And another shell rolls away. That's how everyone sees their ex-wives.
Yeah. Ugh.
Right? See,
Oopsie.
it was PTSD all along. Well, that was a big twist. Great movie, Al. And I was just realizing that because no one else has seen any of this stuff, that's exactly what could be the case right now in this movie.
Yep.
They could have gone that route with it. It was all in his head.
Would definitely make an interesting film, but of course that's not what this is. Or the situation, not that it's not an interesting film.
I think that was the original intent, and then they changed their minds.
Yeah, sometimes when you have a good horror movie and you want to do a horror movie, keep it a horror movie.
Yeah, I agree. But unfortunately, once the writer writes it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn out the way he originally wrote it.
That's true, yeah.
And I think that's exactly what happened here. And here's another thing. Cops come to investigate shots fired. They're probably not going to come up with sirens blaring. They're going to come up and they're going to investigate. Yeah, it's not loaded. You still don't point it at them. Remember the harpoon gun?
I know.
Dummy.
You get a report of shots fired. A lot of cops get bad rep these days, but
yup.
I would rather be a live cop who people wonder about than a dead cop.
Dead guy, yeah. Exactly.
Made a mistake.
And he said,
"Oh my God, isn't the other cop X from the X-Files?" Gotta get back to him.
Him?
Yeah.
I remember him from 21 Jump Street.
That might be it. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
We might both be right. I don't know because I just don't know. I don't know the reference you're making.
Stephen, it's you should remember. It's Stephen Williams. I recognize the name. Yes, he was X on the X-Files. And he was Captain Adam Fuller on 21 Jump Street.
Oh, so we were both right.
Yes, we were both right.
Oh, and Lister, I'm not sure I would call it a cop-out. I think these days it would be a cop-out because it's been done so much. But if you go back to 1985 or 1986, whenever this movie was made, it wasn't that common a thing. So I think it would have been very clever. I think skirting it, setting it up to be that way and then skirting it can be seen as a cop-out. I think commit to it if you're going to do it. And his hands are shaking.
Does anybody serve coffee in those little teeny delicate kind of things anymore? It's all now big.
There we go. There's the shotgun shells. Well, see, now that doesn't necessarily mean anything. He just had his thing out. They know he was cleaning it, so it should not surprise them that there's shells. Yeah, I had just had my gun out. You saw that.
Yeah, my gun out. I unloaded it. I thought.
Right. I would recommend cleaning a loaded gun, right?
See, as far as he knows, he is covering up a crime.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
The only nudity in the film.
I might have to mute for a minute here because my
Okay.
phone may answer.
Okay, I'll vamp for you. Although we do tend to go silent for periods of time when we're doing a rewatch like this, just because it is easy to get caught up in the movie. And I'll be honest with you, I think I've already said everything I know about the trivia behind this movie. At this point, it's just story.
I'm back.
Hello.
No, there was nobody to answer the
phone.
The phone, and if it was audible, my phone number is on it.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, let's not.
Yeah, let's not broadcast that to the world. That's probably not a good idea.
That to everybody. Not that you guys are crazy, but let's not take a chance.
Harry, you still under those stairs?
Do 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 do.
Yeah,
it's always a fireplace poker.
Well, it's versatile. You can clobber someone with it. You can poke them with it. You can gouge them and hook them with it.
See, I have a sword, so
I got a bottle. Well, I got several.
Yeah. Oh, I got several swords.
And lots of knives.
Well, not that many knives, actually. I like a nice like grandpa's folded knife kind of knife. Uh-oh.
You shot me. Now I'm going to return the favor. See, this is a tactical error. He saw something going to the closet, so he's going to the closet, but he didn't check to make sure the room was clear first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was not smart. That's right. He didn't reload the gun. It only had 2 shots.
Oh.
You got to admit, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
I love that. And the really weird musical montage long before we had Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
This isn't the same without Linda Ronstadt, though.
It is a good song choice for
right?
It, though. So, now you got this like demon thing body you gotta get care of.
Exactly. But how can he be so sure that he's still not hallucinating? You know, he could be dragging out the dead body of his ex-wife.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Mm.
You
Oh my goodness.
pretty much digging the view.
Well, whatever anybody thinks of the movie, this makes it worth it.
This is genius. This is comedic gold. Get under there.
I think she's Swedish or something, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, Mary Staven. She won Miss World in 1977, the third Swede to win Miss World. Deservedly so, looking at that. See, I'm of Swedish blood. We are practically, indistinguishable.
Yes.
I am the male version of her.
Yes, you are.
Oh, have mercy.
And by the way, that's Kane Hodder under the tarp again. He's told stories at conventions about getting beat up by William Katt.
It's like it's personal now.
And here's another great example. Okay, the thing that keeps coming back to life. Why don't you chop them up into a bunch of pieces, bury it all over the place? Can't do anything then. Another great song.
Yeah, it doesn't look curious at all, having all this little mounds of dirt in the backyard.
Right. But let's face it, in the real world, people would look at that and go, yeah, that looks terrible, but I don't really care what you do in your backyard. The first assumption isn't he buried a body in pieces in his backyard. Let me call the cops so they can dig up his backyard and check.
Well, say Harrison saying do Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Santa's Sleigh starring Goldberg.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because I know that Professor Geek won't.
Yeah. Kane Hodder played Jason. Yep. Mentioned that earlier.
Yep. In 7, 8, 9, 10, and the video game.
Oops. Still wiggling.
And this is one of those situations where you're like, would the dog really dig up a rotting corpse's hand? I don't think so. Only because he was trained to. Well, I don't see what the problem is. He's just taking it away.
Yeah.
It's someone else's problem now.
He wrote AK-47 on the page there. Auga.
Hello.
And we have a twist.
Yeah.
Look at that haircut.
Yep. Mullet.
Yep. That's a baby mullet.
And that's not the worst thing that's on his back right now.
Yeah.
Stay here and don't turn around. Okay. I can totally understand playing around like that. He's a kid. That's how you get ghoulies. Do you want to get ghoulies? Because that's how you get ghoulies. Hi, no, I just met you, but would you watch my kid?
Like
I didn't catch that before. One of the monsters from Where the Wild Things Are. That's appropriate.
mm.
And a He-Man figure. Oh, this is very 80s TV.
Mm-hmm.
You picture it like Knots Landing or Dallas or something. Skeletor.
Falcon Crest.
That's back when shows had really good theme songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like a few years ago, they just started getting rid of theme songs for some films, for some TV shows.
I know. Sometimes the themes were better than the shows themselves.
Oh, Fall Guy.
Oh yeah.
What a great song.
As I recall, didn't
True
Lee
kiss and tell, but I've
Lee
been
Majors
dating.
sing that song?
Yeah, he sang it.
I thought so. Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard. Even the instrumentals like Dallas, A-Team.
That was a Superpowers Superman figure.
Oh, I missed it.
Well, it might have been a Toy Biz. I'm not sure which. They were both made from the same mold.
I say you're the toy guy. I'm not very knowledgeable of the toy differences and toy.
I don't know near as much as some of the guys that are YouTubing about the toys, but
Yeah,
what I know.
yeah.
Because I loved my toys as a kid. And I was pretty focused on specific things.
If I still wish I had half of the stuff I had when I was a kid. My Star Trek figures, my Mego figures.
A buddy of mine shared a poster. It was different war scenes made up with GI Joes, and it read, "Old soldiers never die. Your mother threw them away."
Oh, geez. Pretty much. I wish I had all the models of the Enterprise I had done. I'd have enough for an entire Starfleet.
Yeah. We live in a great time, though, because there's a lot of people out there that are making 3D models and stuff, play sets and accessories that never existed that you always wanted.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that nothing beats that Connie, though.
I wish they'd stop tinkering with it in Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, just leave it. I mean, I'll give Discovery credit for their Enterprise design. I think that's the design they should have had for the JJ verse.
I agree with you there. It's definitely better than the JJ prize.
Yeah.
See, this is why you and I need to do a Star Trek show one night or one day.
Oh, definitely.
And he's just been kidnapped by the Garbage Pail Kids. Whee!
And one of the little ones is played by Felix Silla from Buck Rogers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of them is Tweaky.
That makes sense.
I think he's just known as the little critter or something, but it's Felix Silla. That little kid's having the time of his life.
Right? I get the impression that when he was pulled up and he said, "We," I think that was just improvised.
Now, you know, as a babysitter, I don't know if I'd want to bathe the kid because you get
Right.
all kinds of trouble. Although this was the mid '80s before everybody was having heart attack about.
And assuming that there was something wrong,
Yeah.
going on there, yeah. But let's face it, he kind of has to. He can't
Yeah.
have mom show up and get, yeah, he's all covered in soot. Here you go.
God, that haircut is atrocious.
Right.
Oh my God, it is so Joe Dirt. It's little baby Joe Dirt.
Yep.
Well, look who popped in. Mara Jade. Hi, Mara Jade. Popped in to say hi. Just hope the rewatch is going great. Thank you, Troy, for stepping in for me yet again. Have fun,
Absolutely.
everyone.
Absolutely. I anytime. I am happy to do it. It's a very different show though without you, Mara.
Casey Scott and Migo, how rich would I have been if I had them? I had like all the Star Trek figures when I was a kid. I knew I had a Klingon. I know I had Kirk and Spock. I think I had a McCoy.
You know, Casey Scott, the Migos are back out again. They're putting out all new ones. A lot of the ones that they didn't put out during in the Star Trek line, like the Sulu and Chekhov, they've released. They're doing movie era with Khan from the Wrath of Khan and the bomber jackets. Yep.
I would love to have a nice like Kirk and Spock figure.
You've seen they're doing great
like
Marvel
like TOS, you know.
They're doing great movie monsters.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'd love to have them too. I don't. There's a whole kind of a whole lot of stuff I would want. But yeah, the Universal monsters, some of the
Yep.
some classic alien kind of monsters, like the metal. Well, even though they are Universal, like the Metal Mutant and
they the last wave of monsters they just did had the Mummy, the Headless Horseman, the Phantom of the Opera.
Mm-hmm. Headless Horse. Does it come with a horse?
No. And that's one of the things I'm working on because I got the Headless Horseman. I want to get an appropriately scaled black stallion.
That would be sweet. You gotta like really take a lot of pictures of that.
Oh, I'm going to, yeah.
Well, just like the kit, people who do the ships and with the kit mashing.
Yep.
That would be fun to have just like boxes of pieces and making ships out of them.
I'm going to be doing some videos in the next couple months, some of the custom figures and custom toys that I'm doing.
Oh, neat. Are you good at like doing the painting and stuff like that too?
I'd like to say yes, but I'll let you be the judge of that when I start posting.
Good enough for government work.
Exactly. Before we do our rewatch of the Star Wars Holiday Special, I want to finish up. I did some custom figures, Star Wars action figures that were never released for the Holiday Special.
Please tell me one of them is the one from Golden Girls.
Not this year, but eventually, yes. And at this point, you get your confirmation that it's real because now he sees it too.
It's shoot it again.
It's only got one shot.
Pull. Whoops.
Oops. Yeah. Last thing oops. Well, start. Yeah, I would at least try to reel him in.
He's going sharking. He's got a shark.
You're going to need a bigger house.
Oops.
No. Lister, I have heard of the Guyver, but I haven't actually seen it. I understand. Yeah, Mark Hamill was in it.
Yeah, I saw it. And Mark Hamill turns into a weird creature.
Then he gets killed, I think.
Yeah. I saw it once. Just not my kind of thing. Or at least not that particular movie. I still want a Robotech movie.
I think a lot of people do.
That's the weird thing. Would you be able to do that for a friend who is?
It's tough. I mean,
I know.
That's why this scene is so good. It's how do you do that?
Melissa Harris has to get going.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep, you take care. And okay, you'll be at the stream tonight with the professor. Cool.
Which movie are we watching tonight?
We are watching Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's right. That's what it was.
There's no way that haircut is up to par. It is very Twilight Zone-y.
I like how you use Twilight Zone as an adjective.
Yep.
How long has he been gone? I mean, he's polished off an awful lot of that Jim Beam there.
If you'd seen what he'd seen, it might not.
Yeah.
Might not have been that long. Well, it's light outside, and it was midnight when the creature came.
True.
So it's been at least 6 hours, maybe.
Good point.
Or was it light outside? Maybe it's just bringing up bad memories of someone who wants revenge.
And what made him decide to just go look at this picture right now? That's information I could have used earlier. Now that's a cool practical effect.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting advised to watch Guyver 2 because it's so much better than the first one.
I mean, seriously, did he really expect to see something?
Another Lovecraftian nightmare.
Yup. Hashtag tentacles out. Although it kind of looks like the xenomorph's tail.
Oh yeah, with like the little scales.
Yeah.
Just lucky enough to have a straight razor.
Yep.
I've always wondered what it'd be like to try to shave with a straight razor like that. I mean, I've had a barber use it like on the back of my neck and some trim up, but never for a full shave.
Hey, I mean, he's still in his own house. He should investigate.
And if there's a chance his son's down there,
right?
Takes balls, but he's going to go.
He's smart enough to bring a shotgun with him. Now, in just a moment, we're going to see another monster effect. And I'm not entirely positive, but I believe that it is the bat creature from the end of Fright Night. The one that the vampire turns into?
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen Fright Night, too. I have a vague remembrance.
We just did a rewatch of it a year ago or so.
Fright Night?
Yeah, didn't we?
Not Fright Night.
I thought
the one with Roddy McDowell?
Yeah.
No,
we didn't?
No, we didn't do that.
Well, we should.
Yes, we should.
I thought we had, though.
No, we hadn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Look like a little stop motion also.
Oh, it's absolutely stop motion.
Yeah.
Which I think is very creepy. I think that there's still value to stop motion.
Oh yeah. Well, you still like watch like Jason the Argonaut since that's a cool thing.
Right?
I liked how he kind of twisted the shotgun like, I'm badass. Boom. In horror movies, you always bring a shotgun.
Oh, and Lister says in horror movies, you always bring a shotgun. That's right. You need your boomstick.
But you need like one of the what do they go? The repeaters. What do they call them? The ones where you like could shove a bunch of shells in it. Can't think of it now. A pump action.
Pump action shotgun, yeah. I'm gonna go all Linda Hamilton on you. Click, click.
Gonna go one-handed badass.
Yup. I've been in Vietnam long enough.
Yeah. If you had just killed him like he asked. Underwater is a very good place to try to avoid bullets.
Yep. Yep, it is. And radiation. Not that that matters in this context.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understand, I'm sure that at least some of these scenes are Richard Mole made up in makeup, but they actually made a whole animatic puppet that took 15 puppeteers.
Mm.
No, I'm still not going to kill you.
I was one-handed badass was my nickname on Cam Soda. Jeez. I got it.
I don't know what cam soda is.
I think it's a cam site, if I'm not mistaken.
One-handed badass sounds nasty.
Yep.
Well, it's easy for you to say. You're a super-powered zombie.
Yeah, and you gotta admit that is a cool makeup effect.
Yep.
Because he looks right out of like all the old horror comics too.
Yep.
Because they always seem to have that story in there about the ghost soldier coming back, crawling from the grave.
Oh, right, because he broke the mirror off.
Oopsie.
Yeah, if he falls, that's going to really, hurt. Not the gutters. Not the gutters. Careful.
Yes, those are a nightmare to fix. If you don't knock off the gutter.
You can tell I'm a homeowner, right? It's like, yeah, that's fine. Blow up the marlin on the wall, but be careful with those gutters. I don't mean to be rude, Ben, but you don't look so good.
Nah, he's.
Although you look better than you have any business looking right now after all these years.
Yeah, he looks dead tired. Ah!
So do you realize that had been William Catt who just made that roll down those stairs? That was pretty impressive.
That is awesome.
Whoops. Beat you to death with your own arm. Oh, seriously? You can put yourself back together.
You know, if they made that scene today, he'd have given him the finger.
Yep. See, you didn't even know when you bought this house you had an oceanside view. There's value there.
Like this, I like the bones out in the boot too.
Yep.
Whoops.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Right onto the rock too.
Yep. Oof. Yeah, now it's just your kitchen.
When listeners think Ghost Soldier sounds like an awesome name for a superhero. Dibs. Anything talked about on the Big Al Presents live chat becomes the official property of Big Al Presents.
Actually, Ghost Soldiers is a book by Hampton Sides. The full title is Ghost Soldiers, the forgotten epic story of World War II's most dramatic mission.
Whoop.
Yeah. Okay. So his ex-wife is still alive. So
Yep.
that pretty much takes care of that whole thing. Okay, yeah, that's pretty epic.
Mm-hmm. Daddy just killed a ghost.
and as she's running across the street, Nanette goes wham! She gets hit by a car.
And this movie has 3 sequels, 2 of which are official.
Actually,
House 2 and House 4 are official.
But the only one that actually continues the storyline is 4.
Yeah. They are all unassociated.
Great song.
I get cheesy stud.
Yep. Witch? Who was the witch? There was a witch?
I think that must be what the what he chopped up must have been.
Oh, okay.
You're no good.
Awesome movie.
Yeah,
this was a great rewatch.
It's a like I said, just a little known thing. Doesn't get a lot of credit, and just a fun little horror film. Great with great practical effects. Just the right amount of humor. I don't think there's anything at the end of this, is there?
I don't know, but I ever
always,
since what was it? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ever since Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I've always stayed till the end of the credits.
oh, I know, because you might get that. Why are you still here? Go home now.
Well, and what I used to say when I'd go like to the movies with my friends, I spent a lot of money to see this movie. I want to see every single thing there is to see.
Oh, I remember when a couple times I went to go see Masters of the Universe, the film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they would cut it off just as the credits ran.
Yeah.
So you didn't get to see the very
Frank
end.
Langella, coming up out of the water.
I'll be back. That little moment. But
in retrospect, it doesn't matter because he never was back.
Yeah, that was so sad. It should have happened. Well, there are instances of movies promising a sequel that never occurred, like that, and
History of the World Part 1.
History of the World Part 1, Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, Buckaroo Banzai would have been awesome.
It's Buckaroo Banzai versus the World. Oh, I forgot what it was called. Something, but it was. They were supposed to have a sequel that they announced, but they're still talking about trying to get it done.
God, it would be wonderful. They should
get those guys back together. It would be so epic. Muhammad wants me to check my email. Let me check my email. Mom just, by the way, Mom just got back from church.
Say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Says Troy. She says hi. Oh, good. My priest said hi. That's nice. It takes me, as everybody knows, takes me a while to get to anything on my computer. So let me see what Muhammad sent me to see.
Yeah, Muhammad, maybe this isn't such a good idea to have him leave a screen during a stream.
Oh, thank you, Muhammad. Looks like we could have that Bubba Hotep watch one day after all.
Oh, there we go.
He sent me a copy of Bubba Hotep. Thank you. That is awesome. The full movie. A nice gift there too, with it. Little cute girl wiki face. The World Crime League. That's what it was.
World Crime League, right?
That's what it was. I knew it was World something, but I couldn't remember the whole thing. Yeah, that would have been epic. Yeah, Bubba Hotep promised Elvis and vampires still never happened. Another one they're still talking about. I remember someone had mentioned that they're still trying to get a Bubba Hotep sequel done.
Wasn't it supposed to be what was it? Was I think they were supposed to call it Bubba Nosferatu. I think it was the going title.
Yeah, something like that. There's been a lot of rumor and talk about there about Bubba Hotep, and I mean, but you gotta get Bruce Campbell back,
right?
I mean, in some way, even though the ending is different. He's got to be involved because he's just too good not to be involved. But they could technically do it without him, technically. But it just wouldn't.
But why would you want to?
Exactly. Do you remember the series he was in, Jack of All Trades?
Was that the name of it? Yeah, I do remember it though.
In 1801, the revolution had been won, and Uncle Sam's favorite son had a job he needed done. So
yeah. And he was also great as a supporting character in what was it, Burn Notice? Wasn't it Burn Notice?
Yeah, Burn Notice.
Yeah.
And also in Hercules and Xena.
Oh, recurring role there. Yeah,
he was awesome. Great. He was great in that. Autolycus, I believe. Was this guy? God, that was a memory bomb too, if I'm right. Autolycus, I think, was his name. But yeah, I always, man, those were some good show days.
He was also in a really interesting sequel to a horror movie that I really like called Waxwork. He was in Waxwork 2, and it went really kind of Bruce Campbell-ish for the second one.
Tell your wife she asks and she receives. She'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't make everybody a moderator, but yeah, I think I've got some okay ones so far. I don't have that many people to moderate. Wow, we got 11 people watching. I'm very surprised for a mid-afternoon watch of a very obscure little horror comedy. I'm very pleased by it, and I am so glad that you were able to sit here with me and enjoy that film today, Troy. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you thinking of me. In fact, I even said to Tamara, I said, not only would I be happy to, I love the idea of being Al's substitute Al.
My substitute Mara.
Right.
Well, like I said, one day we're going to have to get not only you, but also Nanette so we can have the Pacellis.
Yeah, I just got to work out our sound system here so that we can.
Al and the Pacellis. Well, does she have a separate computer or?
She does, and she does have a headset like I do. So I'm kind of wondering if we could try it. The thing is, you're going to hear me over her mic and her over my mic. I don't know if that would make a difference or not, but we could try it.
Yeah, just go to a different room, although it would be kind of weird. But like I said, if you had like do you use a headphone mic or a big mic?
No, well, right now I'm using a headphone mic, and so would she.
Right.
I do have a big mic that I think would be great to put between us.
Right.
Figured out yet how to hook it up.
Well, it's something to think about. It could be a great asset down the line, especially when you for your own videos.
I'm working on it.
Speaking of your own videos, anything coming? Anything in the works?
Yeah, well, plans. I like I said, I wanted to do. I want to start doing some rewatches myself. Some of the stuff that that doesn't really fit into the professor's thought process. I want to start doing some rewatches of some David Lynch films and stuff like that.
Ooh, the only David Lynch film I really remember is Dune.
which is strange because it's not really.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but there's a lot to dig into and some great. I mean, if you're going to get into analysis and symbolism and stuff like that, David Lynch, you can't do better than that.
Yeah.
And with the recurring themes and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely wanted to do that. Mohammed's really been wanting me ever since the Hellraiser rewatch. He wants me to do more talking about villains like the Hell Priest and so forth. So I'm thinking maybe I might do that. What I really want to do is start doing some stuff on the Klingon Cleric page and maybe get you and the Fan Man to do some, just get together and do some chats, some live streams to just talk about Star Trek, maybe do some rewatches.
Always willing to watch and talk about Star Trek. Me. Ships, characters, hot alien chicks. I'm there.
Yep. So that's some of what I'm thinking of, and definitely I think the next thing I'm really looking forward to is doing a rewatch with you and Professor Geek in November for the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh, very good, very good. Wookiee Life Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
At this point, I'm looking forward to a rewatch of the Star Wars holiday special more than I am of the Rise of Skywalker.
I
know how you feel about it. I know how you feel about it.
I thanks to my new configuration of figuring out how to find films, I might be able to find it earlier than I might normally have found.
There you go.
As long as it doesn't get zapped by whatever, and it would be a very poor copy, like when I watched it, because I could watch Terminator Dark Fate right now. It is on Putlocker, but it's a very bad thing with foreign subtitles.
I'll tell you something, man. I really don't have any interest. I even for free, it's not worth the bandwidth to me.
Yeah, I heard most of the story, and one aspect of it killed it for me. And although I'll be the first thing, I like the girl that's in it. I want to say Mackenzie Grace, the girl that plays the weird, souped up human. I've always liked her in some other stuff. Of course, she looks very, butch in this one, but no offense. But I've liked her in other things I've seen. But yeah, the story that I've heard from it, and I've read some reviews. It's an unnecessary film.
Yeah.
They didn't need to do it, and they've killed the rest of the. They've killed all the previous ones.
Yeah, they've done a terrible job with all of the sequels, and every time they're onto something, they drop it. The Sarah Connor Chronicles was awesome. That they dropped the ball on. Done. Nothing there.
Yeah, Mackenzie Davis. Muhammad says, yeah. You're right. Yeah, Mackenzie Davis. I like Mackenzie Davis,
and all that the fans really want.
Yeah, little.
At this point, the only thing that the fans want, and if they don't get it, they're not going to care about anything else. Is they just want to see the future war. Just let us see, the storyline evolve the way it was meant to, and let us see that.
Not going to see that anymore because they've killed it.
Yeah. Exactly.
If anybody, I should just give. I mean, I'm not going to give away the plot point, but let's just say everything we knew about Terminator, the future from Terminator 2, forget it.
Yeah, they basically pulled a Jar Jar Abrams on it.
Yeah,
they decided to completely reboot it and rewrite everything.
Totally,
it's no longer what the property was. No. What good is it now?
Yeah,
you've just lost all your fans. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's not what you do to a franchise. I mean, like I said, they should have stopped it at Terminator 2.
Yep.
Just stop. It was perfect. You had a perfect circle and a continuation, or a perfect little figure 8 and then a continuation.
They were on the right track with 3. They should have just thought it through and done it well. And gone on
with time correcting itself.
Yeah.
I that part was fine. It was executed wrong. I was okay with Christina Loken. Hello. Not at all.
Was she the one with the growing boobs?
She had something going on, but okay. But she I thought she was fine as the TX was TX at the time.
The TX, yeah.
I mean, whatever. I've lost track. To me,
which really just sounds like a porn parody, but whatever.
Yeah, that's the TXXX. That's a whole other kind of Terminator.
Yeah. Oh, Lister, I am so with you. I have absolutely zero interest in the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I'm going to totally pass on it myself.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to know what happens. It could be good, could be bad. Don't know. Ain't seen it. So
the only reason I forgive you wanting to see it is because I know you're not going to pay to see it. So at least I know you're not going to be supporting it.
Didn't pay to see the other one either.
There you go.
I didn't pay to see Force Awakens either. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's if someone doesn't want to see it, fine.
Yeah,
don't see it. If you want to see it, you shouldn't be vilified. Thank you, please, very much.
No, I agree with you, but I think the problem is that there are so many people that go to see it because they're going to see the train wreck, and unfortunately, what that does is it just you're voting with your dollars, and you're there. Just because you're watching it ironically or you're hate watching it or whatever, none of that matters. The studio is still making money off of you, and you're still telling them, yeah, keep making movies like this.
Yep. Yeah, it'll do what it does, however it is. I think I would hope that the quality of the movie will judge what it makes. If it's a terrible movie, it won't make as much as the others. That's why I think it was sad for Solo. Solo was a better movie than what it was given to make. I know a lot of people didn't want it. That's fine, but it's still a decent popcorn movie.
I just wish that Disney would pay attention. Okay, instead of vilifying the fans, pay attention to what the fans are actually saying. They're actually giving you free advice, and you're not listening to it.
Yeah,
everyone is upset because not only are you not giving them what they want, but you're destroying the things that they loved, and they're reaping the result of that. They're losing money. They spent $5 billion on a franchise, and they're losing it.
Yeah, and if any franchise was worth it, it was. But you do have to care for it. And like I said, if it were me, they're not going to do this, by the way, but if it were me, after Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9, take a little break. You know what?
Yeah.
Do Mandalorian. Do a couple, put a little attention towards Clone Wars and something else, and you got the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Concentrate on those for now.
Yeah, but unfortunately, even as I look at what they're doing with the Mandalorian, I already see them operating under bad premises. Instead of giving us Boba Fett, they're giving us the Mandalorian. Right. Because again, they don't want to use a legacy character. This hate on the legacy characters is really them committing suicide with their franchise, because the legacy characters is what everybody loves.
Yeah, and unfortunately they're going to wait so long. The only way to do the legacy characters is
recasting.
Is a total recast,
which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if they had given us the Timothy Zahn Thrawn trilogy,
and
they had recast younger characters, that would have been totally fine. They could have done that. They should have done that.
You just have to. I think Hollywood needs to break out of the SJW soapbox phase and get some people in there who just want to make quality films.
Well,
I say this as such a simplistic answer,
but it
really is a simple answer. But
it is, and you're right. And as I was saying in the last stream, I don't remember who it was I was chatting with. I said, just give it time, because ultimately that's exactly what's going to happen. Movies are failing, and they know why it's failing. And as soon as they get their heads out of their backsides and say, you know what, we're never going to get our messages out if people don't go to see our movies. So we need to start actually focusing on making good movies again.
Exactly.
It's got to happen, or the movie companies go bankrupt. That's what happens.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy a Rolls Royce, but if you crash into a tree, it's still a pile of garbage.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
But well, I'm going to go ahead and log off, because it's almost dinner time at Big Al's household. So
fair enough.
Getting ready to have a little nosh. Remember Professor Geek's rewatch tonight? Ernest Scared Stupid, 11 p.m. unless something happens. And I should be there unless virus attacks my computer again or something.
Don't even say that.
But I want to thank you again, Troy, for joining me.
Thank you again for having me.
Very reliable. I appreciate it. Hope everyone had a great time. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I will have a video out, if not tonight, sometime early tomorrow, ish. We'll see. Okay, take care, everyone, and I'll see you later on the Professor Geek's channel. Take care.
Bye, y'all.